Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. So, according to Calcio Mercato, they have said that Manchester United are willing to offer Alexis Sanchez and Chris Smalling to Inter Milan in a bid for us to get Milan Skrinar. Now, obviously, we have been in for Milan Skrinar before. Obviously, Milan Skriniar is a centre-half and Manchester United are in search for a centre-half. Because we are looking for someone to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. Because quite frankly, Lindelof's not on Harry Maguire's level and Eric Bailly, of course, is very injury prone. I do really like Milan Skriniar. He has been at Inter Milan now for quite a few years. Inter Milan did pay around 20 million euros for him from Sampdoria back in 2017. I think there was also a player included in the deal. I think Milan Skriniar has made around 104 appearances in the Serie A for Inter Milan. He has got a contract with Inter Milan until 2023. Don't forget, back in 2016, Milan Skriniar was named Slovakian's best under-21 player. And I think at the time that Inter Milan did sign him, he was the most expensive Slovakian player of all time. I'm actually not sure if he still is the most expensive Slovakian player of all time. He is in his 20s, he's Milan Skriniar, so he has still got a lot of development in him. But disregarding any players being involved, probably Milan Skriniar would cost maybe in the 40 odd or the 50 odd million pound range. But I think Milan Skriniar does hold his line really well. He's very good at making clearances. He's a strong tackler. He's also very effective in the air. There's also been a few other clubs that have been in for Milan Skriniar before. So I think now he's the latest player to be on our agenda. So reportedly we are willing to offer two of our players. So you obviously know the news regarding Alexis Sanchez, don't you? Inter Milan have said that they are interested in getting Alexis Sanchez on a permanent transfer. And it will be very beneficial for us to get rid of Sanchez permanently because it would free up our wage bill completely. Now, according to recent reports, Inter Milan are willing to pay around £9 million for Sanchez, but that's not enough because we've said want around £18 million to get rid of Sanchez permanently. Now, don't forget, recently Inter Milan had a loan plus an obligation to buy for around £13 million turned down for Sanchez by Manchester United. I don't think we'll allow Inter Milan, to extend his loan for another season. Obviously, we want to get rid of him permanently. Now, to be fair, Sanchez has done well for Inter Milan recently. Obviously, he was out of injury for a while at one point because he did have a dislocated ankle, did Sanchez. Inter Milan did get him on a 10-month loan last summer. Obviously, Inter Milan have no option to buy or there is no obligation to buy. But I do not want Sanchez back at Manchester United because, like I said before, Sanchez did endure a difficult 18 months at the football club. We did get him back in January 2018 as part of a swap deal of Mkhitaryan going to Arsenal. We got Alexis Sanchez. And Sanchez, didn't exceed expectations as we all thought he would have done, because he had a good 3.5-4 years with Arsenal. He also did very well under Pep Guardiola's guidance when he was younger at Barcelona. And Sanchez, sustained quite a few injuries during his time with the club. And Sanchez for Man United did make 45 appearances in all competitions and only managed to score 5 goals. Sanchez has still got a contract with the club till 2022. Sanchez is actually refusing to come back to Man United anyway, but Solskjaer's actually said he would like him back at Manchester United. So he said the same thing in January, that Sanchez would come back to prove everybody wrong. But there's no point Sanchez coming back anyway because if he came back, he'd be basically a squad player. He wouldn't even get in the team. But, we're paying Sanchez 300 grand a week, despite the fact that he's on loan at Inter Milan, and Inter Milan are paying like the other £100,000 a week. Sanchez's wages at Manchester United were around 400 grand a week, potentially rising up to 500 grand a week based on the image rights and the bonuses and that. So that's, the news on that. Chris Smalling, he's out on loan with Roma at the moment. Roma did say earlier on in the season, that they did want to get Chris Smalling permanently. We won't take Chris Smalling back at Manchester United, but I think since he's gone out on loan with Roma, he has done very, very well. Don't forget Chris Smalling did endure 9 years at the football club. So he was a very, very long servant at Manchester United. So that is the latest news on all of that. Now, I just want to delve into some news on Jack Grealish. So, my own perception on Jack Grealish is that I think he is far too expensive. Villa have already revealed their asking price for Jack Grealish. Aston Villa have said that, they do want £80 million for him. And I think Villa, do remain ruthless over their valuation. And obviously, Aston Villa have stayed up. So, reflect on that now. There's a possibility chance that Jack Grealish could remain loyal to Aston Villa for at least another season. Dean Smith did recently say that Jack Grealish's future will be resolved sometime this month, but he also did say, on the other hand, that Aston Villa have got no intentions of selling him. If Villa had got relegated, then I would have fully assured that Grealish would have left, but I think £80 million is far too much for Jack Grealish. Grealish has got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Villa. He has been a Villa player since the age of 6. And he's been in their senior squad since 2014. So this was the 6th season that Jack Grealish has been in Aston Villa's senior squad. But I think Grealish now knows he's far too good for Aston Villa. And Aston Villa, cannot match his ability. If Villa would have been relegated, then he wouldn't have cost £80 million anyway. Maybe he'd have been available for like £40 or £50 million. But we've already said anyway, if we was to sign Jack Grealish in this summer transfer window, he, would be used as a backup, to the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. So he wouldn't even really get in the team. It did say earlier on this season that our preference, was Jack Grealish over James Maddison. But obviously, there's a couple of main explanations why. I think Jack Grealish is the age of 24, like I said, can play as an attacking mid, and he can also play as a winner. So I'm not too sure if we're going to get Jack Grealish in this summer transfer window. So that is the latest news regarding him. And don't forget, back in March, Jack Grealish had that incident with his £80,000 Range Rover when he had crashed it into 3 parked cars. And reflect on that, there was doubts of Grealish coming to Man United. Don't forget, Grealish had been fined around £150,000 for that. I think he also had a crash after lockdown, was it the other month? So he's actually now committed 2 offences as Jack Grealish. So yeah, but he is one of our priority targets. Just want to give you some latest news now regarding Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. I have been keeping up to date of what's been going on with him on a regular basis. So, according to recent reports, Jadon Sancho has got the choice of 2 numbers. He's got the choice of 2 numbers he can fulfill at Manchester United, and that is either the number 7 or the number 11. I think if we do sign Jadon Sancho in this summer transfer window, he will be Manchester United's next number 7, because obviously, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, and we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. The best number 7 we had was Cristiano Ronaldo, and Ronaldo, was definitely, the best player we had in the Premier League era, as well as the best number 7. We had the likes of George Best in number 7, David Beckham in the number 7, Eric Cantona in the number 7, we had Michael Owen in the number 7 at one point, we had Depay and Sanchez in the number 7. Obviously, don't forget Anthony Martial has fulfilled the number 11 role before. Don't forget. But yeah, so Jadon Sancho is our number one priority target, and he has been our number one priority target for a while. We first expressed our interest in Jadon Sancho in 2017. Now, as you all know, reports were coming out earlier on this week saying that Manchester United have agreed an initial £60 million fee with Dortmund for Jadon Sancho. It obviously, did say that there's going to be add-ons included in the deal. There's going to be add-ons of around 30 or 40 million. Obviously, based on Jadon Sancho's appearances. Of how Manchester United progress in the Premier League and of how Manchester United progress in the Champions League. So it did say the deal would be worth around £100 million or just a bit more than £100 million. Now, Borussia Dortmund have notified Man United that, they do want £108 million for Sancho before August the 10th. If we don't sign Jadon Sancho before August the 10th, then, Jadon Sancho won't be coming to Manchester United, according to Borussia Dortmund. They've already set their deadline. But Borussia Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation. They've remained ruthless over their valuation throughout the course of this transfer saga with Jadon Sancho. They've said several times they want over £100 million. We've said several times we are not willing to meet Borussia Dortmund's asking price. Reports from the German press came out earlier on this week saying that we allegedly had an £89 million bid turned down for Sancho. But actually, Manchester United had denied this. It did recently say that we'd set our limit and we was only willing to pay £80 million for Sancho. At one point it said we was only willing to pay £50 million. Now, it's revealed that Jadon Sancho visited our Carrington training ground. This is when he was at Manchester City. Don't forget, Sancho did enjoy a few years at Manchester City. But the main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund paid £8 million for Jadon Sancho, so they got him for next to nothing, and he's spent 3 years so far in Germany, but analysing his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022. Michael Zorg, the Borussia Dortmund director, he recently come out and said that he hopes Jadon Sancho remains at Dortmund for next season and that. But we know that Fabrizio Romano's spoken about this Jadon Sancho transfer saga quite a few times. Christian Falk spoke about it the other week. Also, too, Simon Stone from the BBC recently spoken about it. But I've given you the couple of main explanations why I want Sancho at Manchester United is because he'll dramatically improve us. He's predominantly a right winger, and Man United want a right winger. And also, too, he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. But Solskjaer has said he wants a deal done quickly for Sancho. We've got much better chance of getting him now anyway because we have got qualification for the Champions League. If we didn't get qualification for the Champions League, then I'd have fully disregarded Sancho coming to Man United in this summer transfer window. Borussia Dortmund are known as a selling football club because they've let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. They've also recruited some good players in recent years of Dortmund, but there'll be more developments on the Jadon Sancho transfer saga, definitely. He did recently say from Kicker, that Jadon Sancho's preference is a move to Liverpool and that. But to be honest with you, we have looked at a few alternatives to Jadon Sancho because I will make an admission, these much cheaper solutions than Sancho. The other week we inquired about Kingsley Coman from Munich. We looked at Rabbi Matondo from Schalke before. We also looked at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. We've looked at Tiago Almeida. So we have looked at quite a few alternatives. But I think Dortmund have come to accept the fact that Sancho wants to leave. So, Dortmund are now looking for replacements. They've recently been interested in Memphis Depay from Lyon. They've been interested in Jonathan Ecote from Lille. Recently, he said the other week that they was interested in Rashica from Werder Bremen and that. But it'd be very, very beneficial for Sancho, to come back to the Premier League. You already know the news regarding Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille. Obviously, he's going to make a decision on his future in the coming days, reportedly. Obviously, his representatives have recently been in the UK to hold negotiations. I think he's held negotiations with us, Everton and Arsenal, because they are the clubs that are in for him. Also, PSG have been in for him recently. Napoli have been in for him. Obviously, Napoli have already signed Victor Osimhen from Lille for around £45 million. Gabriel Magalhaes is a cheap solution because he's available for around £20 million. He did recently say that we'd put around a £27 million bidding for him, but to be honest with you I think he'd go well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. But yeah, like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does want to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window because he believes we need at least 3 signings, to become title contenders next season. He did say the other week that Solskjaer's targeting around 5 players at the football club, to overhaul the Manchester United squad. Because at the start of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, don't forget he did say that he wanted to make around 9 signings. Obviously, he agreed this with Mike Phelan, and so far, Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings at the football club and spent just over £200 million. Obviously, Solskjaer didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window. But in the 2 previous windows, he has brought 5 players into the football club and all of that. But Solskjaer has already identified the areas in the Manchester United squad where he does want to strengthen up. He's looking to recommend a striker in. He's also looking to recommend a right winger in. We're looking to get a holding midfielder in, but there's some Man United fans that don't think we'll get a holding midfielder. Obviously, we're looking to get a centre-half in. And we're also looking to get a left-back in. Our 2 predominant left-backs are obviously, Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams. Luke Shaw, of course, is our first-choice left-back, and he has been our first-choice left-back for a while. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury-prone. Luke Shaw did miss the first part of the season with an ankle injury. Not an ankle injury. I think, was it an ankle injury, if I can remember rightly? But he missed the first part of the season anyway. Then he'd made a fantastic impact. And obviously, he got an ankle injury towards the end of the season. I think Luke Shaw's out for the rest of the season. Brandon Williams, like I said, he's also enjoyed a very, very good season. I expect him to be our first-choice left-back maybe in the next couple of years or something like that, because take into account, Luke Shaw is more experienced than Brandon Williams. Our transfer budget for the summer transfer window, as you all know, has already been revealed. Solskjaer's got around £140 million to spend. £140 million to spend. Obviously, I think for us getting qualification for the Champions League, we got an extra £70 million in revenue. And to be honest with you, I think that's a fantastic achievement, getting qualification for the Champions League and finishing, 3rd. Because let's put into the equation, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. And don't forget, earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season for 30 years. And reflecting how poor he was earlier on in the season, you wouldn't have even thought we'd have finished in the top 10. But yeah, very, very good achievement. Let's put into the equation as well in this summer transfer window, Manchester United are going to sell players. So that way, we are going to generate money. I think, we're going to get rid of at least 7 players in this summer transfer window. We're obviously, we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of, I'm hopeful we can get rid of Andres Pereira, because Andres Pereira doesn't even get in the team now. I think, want to get rid of Sanchez permanently, obviously. Want to get rid of Smalling permanently. Want to get rid of Rojo permanently. We'll be also looking to get rid of Phil Jones. Also, too, Diego Dalot. I think Man United need to get rid of him, because I don't think Diego Dalot is good enough to represent Manchester United. We did get Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We did pay around, £19 million in from Porto. and Delors has got a contract with us until 2023. You know, I think we'll get rid of Juan Mata, but I don't think we'll get rid of him in this summer transfer window. Juan Mata, you know, has had a very, very good career at Man United. You know, this has been his 6th season at the football club. You know, we did get Juan Mata back in 2014 from Chelsea. We paid just under £40 million for the player. But he isn't really getting the team now. But when he does get given his chances, you know, he still does make an impact. I also expect us to get rid of Joe Pereira permanently because he's out on loan with Hearts at the moment. We're going to loan some players out. I think Solskjaer's he's already made his decision on what players he's going to loan out. I think Man United are definitely going to loan James Garner out. Cardiff, Swansea have been interested in James Garner. And I think it did recently say that Doncaster have been interested in him. You know, so I think James Garner's going to be in the Championship for next season. I think Sheffield Wednesday are also in for him as well. Tahith Chong, possibility chance that we could loan him out because Tahith Chong doesn't really get in the team. Dylan Levitt, I think he's another player we're going to loan out. You know, I think Man United should loan Tuanzebe and Fosu Mensah out, you know, because they're not getting in the team enough. Kovar as well. I think, you know, we're also going to be loaning him out. I've actually, never heard of him, but he's actually, not played in our first team yet. Daniel James, we could possibly loan him out because, towards the end of the season, Daniel James was finding game time very, very difficult because, we was playing Mason Greenwood ahead of Daniel James, especially if we sign Sancho, then Daniel James is going to find it very, very difficult to get into the team. So big decisions have got to be made in this summer transfer window. We've already missed out on 2 players, I think, under Solskjaer, who we wanted to bring in. Obviously, missed out on Haaland in January. And we also, missed out on Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. So, actually, that was a disappointment because they would have fitted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy perfectly. Solskjaer did say earlier on in his managerial career that he wants to recruit young British talents to Manchester United. Because 3 of the 5 players he's brought in so far, of course, are British and all of that. Of course, are British. But like I said, the transfer window's been open now. Is it very good? I think it's been open about, 4 or 5 days now, the transfer window. And signings, have already been done. Like I said, regarding Chelsea, they've done very, very good recruitment so far. They have already made 2 signings under Lampard, but they got them before the summer transfer window opened. Obviously, they got Ziyech back in February for around 37 or 38 million. They got Timo Werner from RP Leipzig for £48 million. So they spent around 80 million now on 2 players. Chelsea looking at still get Havertz. Looking at get Ben Chilwell on the board. Obviously, you've got Man City that are closing in on the signing of Nathan Ake. It recently said from the BBC that Bournemouth have accepted a £41 million bid from Man City for Nathan Ake. And he'll do very, very well alongside Laporte in City's backline. I think City are closing in on getting Ferran Torres. I think they also have signed another player. City will get the players that they're wanting now because they had their 2-year Champions League ban overturned by CES. Arsenal, I presume, will want to do some recruitment in this window. Also, too, Liverpool want to make a couple of signings because they want to continue their dominance up. Tottenham will want to make signings, but obviously, Daniel Levy doesn't like to spend money, don't forget. He's, very, very, stubborn, I think, is Daniel Levy at Tottenham. Also, to, so obviously, teams, are going to want to do recruitment in this summer transfer window. But this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager and that. I also do believe that Solskjaer's got a goalkeeping decision to make. I think there's a possibility chance that Dean Henderson could become our number 1 for next season. Don't forget, it did recently say from Sky Sports that our contract talks with Dean Henderson have hit a crucial stage and his future will be much clearer in the next couple of weeks. Dean Henderson's enjoyed 2 successful loan spells with Sheffield United. Obviously, I've got to say, he's been Sheffield United's player of the season. Dean Henderson's had quite a few other loan spells as well with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. We got Dean Henderson back in 2011 from Carlisle. Obviously, we got him at just the age of 14. Dean Henderson's got a contract with us until 2022, but we're hoping of getting Dean Henderson a new 5-year contract, and reportedly could be one of the highest paid goalkeepers in Europe. Don't forget, Chelsea are looking to still get him on the board. But Solskjaer did say prior to the Sheffield United game, he expects Dean Henderson to be our number 1 and England's number 1 goalkeeper in the future. I think we need to make him number 1 for next season, Dean Henderson, definitely. Obviously, David De Gea, has been our number 1 for several years. Obviously, David De Gea, this has been his 9th season at Man United. He is approaching his 10th year at the football club. And De Gea has made 404 appearances for the football club in all competitions. 300 odd appearances in the Premier League. Like I said before, De Gea's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been at Man United, because in the last couple of years he has been a liability, reflecting on his calamitous mistakes that he has made. As Solskjaer was saying the other week that David De Gea has been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last 9 or 10 years. But when David De Gea does eventually leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain. I really, really do. I give you the news regarding Sergio Romero this morning now. He's possibly another player that could be leaving Man United, because Dean Henderson's coming back for next season, so that means then Sergio Romero will be our 3rd choice goalkeeper. Sergio Romero obviously does play in the cup games anyway. And to be fair to Romero, he has kept a lot of clean sheets. Romero's got a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. We got Sergio Romero on a free transfer from San Pandora back in 2015. So this has been now his 5th season at the football club. I think if we are to sell him, we would probably want around 5 or 6 million for Sergio Romero. There's obviously other teams he's been at than San Pandora before. Obviously, he was at AZ Alkmaar. I think he was also at Racing Club. And he also had a loan spell with Monaco. But we won't get loads for Romero, because obviously he's now 33 years of age. We've got Lee Grant. He's another one of our goalkeepers. I think we got him from Stoke in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. Like I said, we've got Joe Pereira out on loan. So Solskjaer has a goalkeeping decision to definitely make. But one thing Solskjaer will be relieved about, is that he proved his critics wrong, because earlier on in the season I was very critical of Solskjaer, and so too were a lot of Manchester United fans. Solskjaer's now been at the football club a year and over a year and a half, should I say, and I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 15 or 16 months. But like I said, he'll have big expectations to exceed for next season, because our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. Like I said, this has been the 7th season on the trot we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. But like I've said to you before, we have been playing catch up for the last 7 years. We've had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent close to the £1 billion range on players. We've recruited over 30 odd players in, since the Alex Ferguson era. And, people say, reflect on the money we've spent over the years, we should be where Liverpool are, or minimum, where Manchester City are. But it doesn't always work like that, because I think we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent in that. But I think we'll enjoy a good season next season. I really, really do, because I think we're going to get the players that we want now in this summer transfer window. We really, really are. But, we have rejuvenated ourselves since January, really. Since that 2-0 defeat to Burnley, we have really, really, we have fired on all cylinders. We are unbeaten in 14 Premier League games. I think this is our best vein of form since Solskjaer first came in as a temporary boss. Don't forget, we did go on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions. until Chelsea beating us, in the FA Cup semi-final. And I've seen a lot of improvements under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Don't get me wrong, there's still things Man United need to improve on. I think we need to keep the ball better. We need to be quicker on the flanks. We need to be slightly, more clinical in front of goal and all of that. Defensively, we need to look better. But like I say, I have still seen improvements. Like I said, we've got the Europa League coming up. I think is it the first today? It's Saturday today, isn't it? Sunday. Yeah, on Wednesday we've got Lask in the Europa League. It's the second leg of the last 16 because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. Obviously, we are into the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and the quarterfinal games are on the 10th and the 11th of August. But like I've said before, the Europa League is a priority for Manchester United because it's a chance for us winning the trophy this season under Solskjaer. And if we do win the Europa League, it will be our first trophy under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And we'll generate money if we can win the Europa League. But we actually are the favourites to win it. We are the favourites to win it. But, if we win it as well, it will be our first trophy in over 3 years. Last time we went over 3 years without winning a trophy before this was back in the late 1980s and that. But like I said on my video yesterday, Solskjaer's going to make a rotation in the squad for the Europa League games. He's going to rest several key players and that. And the Europa League games is more of a chance, is the opportunity to give the youngsters more chances and that. And like I've said regarding Solskjaer, he has promoted the youth very, very well this season. But I just think some more youngsters do need to get opportunities. But Solskjaer does now know his best 11 at the club. I've got to give him that. I think his decision making's been very, very good in a lot of games since January, because earlier on in the season his decision making was quite poor. Solskjaer, of course, now knows his best formation. Don't forget, we went 5 games in a row in the Premier League going with the exact same team, and that's the first time we did that since February 1993 and all of that. So yeah, nothing much really more to say. You saw my video I did as well earlier, and I said, can Solskjaer, become the next Alex Ferguson? Can he do this? Because Ferguson didn't settle in straight away, because don't forget, he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, Ferguson, but, won a total of 38 major honours under him, and Ferguson, of course, enjoyed a good 27 years at Manchester United and all of that. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And by the way, Arsenal did beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final 2-1. So Arsenal won now 14 FA Cup. I think it's their first trophy under Mikel Arteta. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.